We're almost halfway through the year, and 2023 has thus far given us a lot of, well, disappointment. Something admittedly a lot of us as MMO players have grown to become accustomed to. But that doesn't mean that we don't either have MMOs to look forward to, or that there aren't MMOs on the immediate horizon ready to be played. Does May have anything to look forward to though? That's what we're here today to find out. With this in mind, if you enjoy staying up to date with what's releasing and more specifically this series, make sure to like the video, leave a comment telling me what MMO you're most looking forward to this month, subscribe to the channel and hit that little bell notification. Oh, and make sure to check out the last episode in this series at the end of the video in case you missed something that released last month. Before we discuss what's releasing this month, allow me to thank our incredible patrons over on Patreon. Your guys' support is why I can continue to make videos like this every month, and I deeply appreciate you all being there for me. Also, if you have a moment, consider following me over on Twitch. I stream new MMOs there every weekend. Now let's go ahead, jump in, and see if we can't find something to waste the next month in. Let's kickstart this off with Mad World. Mad World is a brand new grimdark MMORPG that has been in development for the better half of a decade. The game boasts a classless system allowing players to freely swap between class archetypes by alternating between unique weapons, filling a variety of different roles such as support, tank, or DPS. It utilizes an interesting graphical style, one very similar to Tree of Savior, but not typically used by games in the MMO genre. Admittedly, Mad World did launch officially on April 27th, so this isn't technically a May 2023 launch, but since the release date was announced in late April, I wasn't able to include it in my April list of MMOs. Thus, I felt obligated to include it here for those of you that are interested in trying it out. I will note that there have been a significant number of issues since launching their game, a multitude of which have been documented across social media, so be careful. Mad World is an HTML5 MMORPG allowing players to log in and play it across every and any platform that has browser support. Ethereal Echoes of Yore is a hardcore old-school MMORPG inspired by RuneScape and Tibia Online, two fantastic MMOs by the way. They promise a large, freely explorable open world for players to wander, a deep, intricate type of character progression, impactful gathering and crafting, a functional player housing and guild housing system built in a non-instance environment, meaning you can see homes out in the world and then proceed to complain that those homes are better than your home, filled with more stuff than your home, you know, just like real life. You know what? I wonder if we can rate them. Come on, it's not just me that's thinking that. I cannot be the only one to be. Honestly, after browsing their website, I could find very little in terms of real information pertaining to the game, which is definitely concerning as the game is launching on May 1st, today. Actually, for those of you that are interested, Ethereal is going to require a monthly subscription like World of Warcraft, like Final Fantasy XIV, realistically the only two MMOs with recurring monthly subscription fees. How they're going to justify this is going to be fascinating, since even MMOs like The Elder Scrolls Online, Black Desert Online, and Guild Wars 2 aren't capable of sustaining a recurring monthly fee. Also worth noting here is that very recently, the devs were a part of a little bit of a scandal where supposedly a member of their staff pretended to be a completely random interested user in the game and went on to advertise it to unsuspecting players. After being called out on Reddit, one of the devs lashed out and then later apologized, with the staff member coming forward and attempting to cover his tracks by claiming he was merely a fan of the game before becoming a staff member. Now, if this looks like juicy gossip you're interested in learning more about, you can find all of it and more on Reddit, or who knows, maybe I'll do a follow-up video talking about it, I don't know. Eden Eternal is back. After shutting down 2 years ago, which was a really dumb decision by the way, X Legend, the devs behind every single carbon copy anime MMO of the 2000s, is re-releasing one of their biggest hits, Eden Eternal. This comes after Gamigo decided to shut it down, a really dumb decision by the way. I really don't know if I've stressed that enough by this point, along with many of the MMOs that they were publishing over the last year. Eden Eternal is a tab target anime MMO set in a large open world. Eden Eternal is unique in so that you begin as a base class, and as you continue to level that class, you can unlock other additional, more powerful classes, kind of like Final Fantasy XIV used to do when they required you level multiple classes to unlock new ones. Eden Eternal is one of the highest quality anime MMOs that I've played, and I genuinely cannot wait to jump back into it when it launches on May 4th, just later this week. And I know a lot of you guys feel the same because this was a lot of our introduction into the MMO genre. Alicia is one of the few VR MMORPGs currently in development. Alicia was successfully kickstarted back in 2020 and has been in alpha testing since 2022. Like every indie MMO, Alicia was inspired by old school MMORPGs. I feel like, genuinely, this is something that every small indie dev says to attempt to accrue interest from hardcore old school players with the same mindset, longing for the challenge and depth that they miss. Alicia is going to feature a large open world for players to explore, hidden ruins and dungeons for players to raid, lots of treasure to find out in the world, enormous world boss titans to engage. This would actually be kind of fun to watch because I can't imagine players fighting and then, in their words, climbing massive monsters, all the while wearing a VR headset. Alicia is entering its first stage of beta testing on May 13th. Throne and Liberty is an MMO that many people are both excited for and very cautious of. On the one hand, this is NCSoft we're talking about. Also, it's a gorgeous hybrid action MMO from the people that brought us a popular quality Lineage franchise. And on the other hand, this is NCSoft we're talking about. And Korean players have claimed that the game is an autoplay mess filled with mobile features, even though it doesn't have any type of mobile functionality. Yeah, wrap your head around that. NCSoft being NCSoft, being completely out of touch with their community of players. Regardless, Throne and Liberty has been in active development for roughly a decade and is going to be one of the biggest hits or disappointments of 2023. And players are going to be able to see it firsthand this month, as NCSoft are holding a sign-up event beginning May 2nd and running through May 14th, with beta tests scheduled to take place beginning May 24th and lasting until May 30th. These tests are going to be in Korean and will not be handled by Amazon Game Studios, unlike the global beta. But if you've been curious of what the game's going to look like, this is your chance to try it out and see for yourself. Perfect New World is what seems to be either a mostly action or hybrid action MMORPG set in the same world as Perfect World, but overhauled to fit a new audience of players. And don't misconstrue that as me saying that it's the same game. This is no more the same game than Final Fantasy XIV is Final Fantasy XI, but you're going to see a lot of similarities. Perfect New World looks beautiful though from the trailers that we've seen, although there are a lot of differences between this game and its predecessor, namely in terms of customization. Perfect World is largely known for its immense world and limitless customization options. That just isn't the case with this game, and the gender and race lock classes and races are really not going to go over well with current generation players that view that feature as more of a cheap restriction that is typically found in mobile games than anything else. Regardless, Perfect New World enters their first global beta test on May 4, 2023 via Steam. Although, I do want to note here that we haven't seen any follow-up. We haven't seen any additional information or activity from the studio, so maybe that won't be the case anymore. And that's everything. All of the MMOs slated to release either fully or into some form of test phase this month, at least that I'm aware of. I probably missed one or two that's bound to happen with more obscure titles. Nevertheless, these are the main games that I have been following. That isn't to say that there isn't more to look forward to though, because if none of those games look like games that you would be personally interested in, I urge you to check out one of these two videos on screen right now. I'm sure you'll find something that you'll enjoy. Trust me, you have a very promising looking year coming.